Hello. It is Tuesday training at noon, live. Certified high performance coach Trisha Turns. Who's here today? Let's see it. Today I'm going to give you two things that really helped me and was kind of like a shift in just overall operations of our business when I owned the gyms back in the day, and that I've incorporated now as well. Although I don't have employees, one of them is based on your staff, which is really important. But first of all, I just want to do a check-in, and I want to do just an introduction again, because I have an introduction pinned to the top of the page. You guys will see that I renamed it. I really am determined. Like, you have no idea how determined I am. If you're watching this, I want you to comment below. I want you to comment something. I don't care what it is. I am determined to get engagement from this group. And every Tuesday, I will be here at noon to do Tuesday training. Unless for some reason something happens and I'm on a plane that gets delayed or something like that, I will be here to do training. And I want it to be valuable training for you. So I want to know what is going to get you more engaged? What is going to get you to ask more questions, be more vulnerable, reach out for support, ask the group. There's so many entrepreneurs and business owners in this group. I want to feed off of your knowledge and your strengths. You guys have so many skills and strengths that you're not putting out there and that could support other people. And not only that, but if you need support, I really want you to ask and reach out. Like, that's what this group is for. I want to be able to support you in an upcoming thing that you have going on that you want some feedback on, how you're going to handle it. Is it a conversation you're going to have? Is it a team? Is it hiring? Is it something with your team? Is it something with you individually, mindset wise? Is it does it have to do with the operations and the flow of your business? Does it have to do with your lifestyle and connecting that to your career? Does it have to do with finding a new career and a new path? I talked to a gentleman today that is in transition, but he doesn't know what he wants yet. So he's trying to figure that out. Like, you guys have so much knowledge and so many strengths that I feel like we forget that we don't utilize. Like, it's always good to look at the things that we don't have, but what about the things that we do have? What can we be grateful for today? Like, I want your guys' engagement, and I really want this group to be something that takes the group to the next level, that raises you up and gives you, really just sets you on fire to do better things and to just bring better, more conscious, mindful business to the forefront of what's going on, but also connecting that to your freedom, connecting it to your lifestyle, making sure that you're getting out of your business what you're putting in, and that your intention going into the business was to create this lifestyle for yourself. I want you to fulfill that. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel engaged and joyful at the end of the day, prideful of your work. I want you to feel like you made a difference. And if you are feeling that right now, I also want to challenge you and raise that necessity. I want you to tap into a 10 instead of an 8, right? What's a 10 in terms of pride when you leave your day? Feeling accomplished when you leave your day, right? Like, I really want you to feel that. So if you are doing things that are really working with you, please share them in the group. Like, share them with other people, because you could support someone else that happens to look at it today and it's like, oh yeah, dang, that's me. I need to do that, right? And so with this collective, right, there's so much more power in a collective group, but only if you're engaged in it. So if you're really not engaged in it and you're not going to be a participant in this whole thing, I hate to ask you to leave, but like, just not what do they call it? Like, leave the group. Like, go ahead and leave the group. It's okay. Like, no offense taken. Like, I really want the people that are going to be in this group to be engaged, because what's the point of getting on social media and flipping through social media and looking at videos and stuff, and being in groups and all these different things if you're not actually going to utilize it? And I totally understand, like, at this time, you may have joined it and it's just not the right time, and that's okay. Like, I'm in a ton of groups. Like, I actually just went into my cornhole group, Sussex County cornhole group. I guess it's Morris County, but I went into that group because I've been in that group for a long time, And I just kind of like went on the back burner for a while, but I really want to get back into that. I want to get back into like teams and things like that, more social interaction and groups. And that's been my goal this month. So I'm going to go. So I was looking up in there and I got back in there and I immediately commented, and I already am getting comments back from those people. Like, now I'm engaged. Like, now they're engaged. They're excited I'm coming back to cornhole. I'm excited to be there. I'm like, yes, I have it in my calendar for the 12th. I'm going to be there. Like, I'm super excited. And it's just fun, right? But I also want this group to be that for you. But I also know that for me, I could have left the group. I just kind of left it on the back burner. Like, I knew I would come back to it. But there are some groups where they no longer serve me, or they don't serve me at this time, and that's okay. All right, getting into Tuesday training. So if you're watching this, I would love if you would comment. This is for business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are in a professional shift, but also people that manage teams, that run groups at work, and not even at work. If you're a volunteer organization, if you work for a nonprofit, if you're running groups of people, you have a crazy opportunity to really influence at just a 10 level. And I want you to be able to do that. But one thing that I realized, and this is coming from, I don't know if he's watching, but Mark, who's in this group, he actually brought this up this past week. And one of the things that he's gotten from coaching with me is that he feels like his operations are running at a smoother level. And that's something that you can't really tactically grab onto. It's not like, oh, I have this coaching and I'm getting more money XYZ out of this, and likely he is too, but there are things that you don't expect to get out of the high performance coaching problem. And for him, it was smoother operations and just a smoother flow of business. And so he's really trying to level that up right now. And sorry to call you out, Mark, but it's really awesome because he's doing a great job at it, and managing his team and his staff, and really delegating a lot of stuff lately to raise his ability to work on the things that are on the business and not necessarily working in the business, but also getting people to step up their own leadership, like one individual at his place in particular that has a lot more responsibility now in the last couple months. And so it's really cool to see that dynamic change. But the one thing that could support you, and that is going to support him as well, and we have a call about this week, in terms of smoother operations, the first thing and the first tip that I will give you is putting together a promotional calendar, an annual promotional calendar, and an annual event calendar. So when we're all about planning, high performance is all about being so damn prepared, like prepared for the president to walk in the door. Like, if that's the level that I push my clients to be at, because that's the level that it takes to be a high performer. If you want to be successful, if you want to make more money, if you want to have the lifestyle that you really signed up for, and you want to do it well, and you want to be able to go do your lifestyle and not have work on your mind, not be with your family thinking about emails and responding to people and like all that shit, you have to be able to separate that. But you also need to be able to, when you're at work, you're doing great things and you're at a crazy high level. Hey, John. So the first thing is creating an annual, like plan an annual, and I mean the full flipping year, like plan out the entire year promotional and event calendar. So when we did this at our gyms, it changed the game because every single person was on the same page. We no longer forgot about events. We no longer forgot about fundraisers that all of a sudden came up and we were like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. We were able to really plan and get our membership and our members and all the people of Strong Together Fitness engaged in it way sooner. We could prepare for it sooner. We could announce it sooner. We could get ourselves in line and in order so that that operation was very smooth. And so that when those things come up, we make them bigger than just all of a sudden flying by the seat of our pants and being like, oh shit, we forgot about that, right? Or we missed something. There's just so many. One of the reasons that we were very successful and still are in Strong Together Fitness was because of the events that we ran. Honestly, we are like, it's such a critical piece because people love events. It's not that everybody's going to come every time, but every time you host events, you are creating a culture around support and collective and team, and it's really powerful. And so for us, because we know that that's part of our retention, it's part of keeping more people for longer, and maybe this resonates with you and your clients. If it does, certainly send me a little comment below. And who are your clients and what do you do? Because I'm really curious. But John, if you could do that, that would be awesome. But just raising that and making sure that we keep more people for longer based on the events that we have, because that's why, like, people came into us for fitness, but they stayed because of the community. Like, yes, they stayed because they were getting results and they loved it and they were able to change their lifestyle and make some really good shifts for themselves. But really, the long-term people that are there because of the community that we've built. And so when you have a promotional calendar and an events calendar that is badass, like, all of a sudden you have an opportunity to keep clients for longer because you are that planned. And that's high performance. All right, so that's the first thing. I won't spend too much longer here. The second thing, and this is completely on a random separate note, it's like something that's completely unrelated to the first one. But when I look back at what made our operations smoother, like, I had to look and think back to what made my operations not smooth. And so the biggest thing that made it not smooth for me was that when I got hung up and I didn't know the answer, it would take me so long to figure shit out. Like, I don't have a for instance right now. I have a for instance for what did get me to smoother operations. But when I would feel like that, it's like, what was I doing that made me feel so in the dumps and not able to actually, like, move the needle, right? And, like, make my operations smoother. I would have this like hit, like, oh my God, like, I don't know how to fix this. Like, I don't know what to do. I do have a for instance, actually. One of our coaches that had been with me for 3 years, her and I ran the Strong Together Chester facility together for about 3 years. And she was with me for 3 years, and my members had known her for 3 years because we had a lot of members that had been there from the get-go. And when we did that, we actually employ 2 of her other sisters. So we employ 3 sisters of the same family, all in different gyms at the time, and one at headquarters working as an administrative assistant. But just she's a baller. She's awesome. The other 2 working at 2 separate gyms as coaches, full-time coaches, and they wanted to work together. They ultimately, like, they're sisters. They bond very well. They really wanted to work together. So we shifted her from my facility to a different facility. And although we missed her, it was the first time that we had to do that, right? It was the first time that someone was leaving, because we tend to keep the coaches on. We have a really good retention rate in terms of coaches. We're not like most gyms where people are in and out, because we hire full time. We have to pay them a salary. Like, we build them up to be an amazing coach and to be able to make a living out of it. So she left, and all of a sudden I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how my members were going to react. I didn't know. We had to come up with ideas, and it took a long time. So yes, could it have been a shorter time as I look back at it? Probably. I could have probably reached out to a few more people to ask, like, what did you do when this happened? Like, it's all about reinvent. I'm trying to do things here so that you guys don't have to reinvent the wheel in your business. Like, I've already done a lot of it. And yes, I know I'm young, but I have 7 years of experience as an entrepreneur and business owner in multiple facilities and with multiple people and teams and coaches and all sorts of crazy stuff. And I want to make sure that the things that I learned from that, you guys don't have to repeat, right? You don't have to go through the sufferfest of figuring out, well, how do I send this person that's been away for so long? All of a sudden, my clients are losing one of their favorite people of my business, one of my favorite employees. So that's an example of what happened that took way longer than it probably needed to, and was very uneasy because we didn't know the outcome, right? And it's not that we would have ever known the outcome. You don't know the outcome ever. That's part of the uncertainty of business and being a business owner. If you were signing on to be a business owner because of certainty, then you don't exist, because certainty does not exist in business ownership. Like, you have to be okay with going in not knowing, right? And that's what courage is, and that's what putting your life on the line, your lifestyle on the line, and really what puts a fire under our asses to get better and really improve is because our paycheck shows it, right? Our lifestyle shows it. The way we show up at home shows it, because if we can be a really good business owner, right? Really good, whatever that means, right? Whatever that means for you, a better business owner than where you're at. I'm sure you can think of 2 or 3 things. Like, that's going to create it. But smoother operations overall helps you to be at home when you're at home. Not your mind at work when you're at home, but you to be home when you're at home. You to be doing things, hobbies that you haven't done in years, right? That you've put on the back burner. For me, that was photography. I'm getting off track. But so this one thing was asking my team for support. Like putting myself out there in terms of being vulnerable and telling them, look, guys, I don't know what to do here. I need your support. And as soon as I did that, oh my God, the heavens lit up. Like I started getting feedback from them that I would have never expected. And what I would say is that don't underestimate your staff for coming up with brilliant flipping ideas, because they have so much knowledge and they see the client every single day. My employees did, and maybe yours don't, but they always have a different sense because of the work that they're doing, right? It's common sense, but common sense is not always common practice. But I think as business owners, we get in our ego a little bit and we're like, we know the best, we know what's best, we know what needs to be done. And when we don't, we're so hard on ourselves to come up with answers, ourselves, when really they have the answers. They have options. They have ideas that you aren't going to come up with yourself. So putting yourself out there, like there's a couple of times that this happened, especially that I can think of in my head, where I was like, guys, I don't know. You got to tell me, because I'm not there in the mornings all the time. Our retention started to go way down. It was a weird energy in the space. You could feel it in the gym. Like it was just weird. And I didn't know. So I remember going to Joe and Zach and Nivy and saying, guys, what's going on? Like, I don't know how to fix this, but something weird is happening. I need your input and I need your help. And they immediately came up with stuff. We came up with an event we were going to run. We came up with what we were going to do differently in the space every time someone walks in the door, how we were going to bond the team and the groups as they're in there for group training. So we started doing like more and more like icebreakers at the beginning of class, things to wake people up, get people talking, right? And that immediately, within like 2 weeks, you could feel the shift, but they just came up with so many ideas that I wouldn't have otherwise known, because I can't be there 24 hours a day, right? Nor do I want to be. So my morning staff was in there, but like that's like more than half of our membership base that I don't get to see their interactions and I don't get to see their classes. So that was really important. And so they were able to give me a lot more feedback than I would ever have gotten. And we were able to get our retention back up quicker than ever before. So number one, annual calendar, events calendar, promotional calendar. Not just events, but what promotions are you running? So like every year we do a Black Friday promotion. Every year we do we do like a wine and workout, right? And that's always like a big hit. And it's just fun, right? It's just silly and fun. Not that I promote drinking wine, but for a lot of people it's good and it keeps the energy good. But there's all sorts of promotions that we run throughout the year. We run 6-week challenges like 4 times a year, and we have a new nutrition thing coming out. And so we put that into the promotional calendar, and then and we share it in a Google Doc with everybody on the staff. Every location has it. We all run at all 7 of our locations. We run the same promotions, and that's why, our process works really well for all gyms, because it's all the same. But anytime somebody has a question, well, what week are we doing barbells for boobs? That's our biggest fundraiser of the year. Look in the promotional calendar. It's right in there, right? When I get those questions, it's all in there and it's all at the access of their fingertips. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting that out and allowing edits to be done. Make it a view only so that there's only one person in control of that. And then you have meetings on it, right? And you bring all of the current month to the beginning to show people what's going on in that month. And that's something that we review at the beginning of every month on our leadership calls. So I hope that's helpful to you. John, if that's helpful to you, like, let me know what you do, man. Where do you live? What do you do for a living? I hope this was helpful. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing is just asking for more support, like really tapping into the knowledge base of the people that you staff, because they know so much and they have so many great ideas. Never underestimate the ability and the capability of your staff to come up with solutions for you and come up with solutions that you would never have thought of to begin with. All right. So Tuesday training is complete. I honor all of you for being here, for watching this. If you're rewatching it, write rewatch or watched later or something. Give me a thumbs up so that I know you watched it later. Please help me with some engagement here. I really want to be able to support you. I really do. That's why I'm here. That's why I became a high performance coach, is I love working with business owners and entrepreneurs because I love learning about different industries. I love picking your brain, and I love mindset, and I love digging in to see what really is going on in your head, because there's so much in your head that you're not utilizing that can create a really powerful shift in your life. Would you agree? I think that you would. There's a lot of mindset stuff. If you haven't friended me, Trisha Turns, it's Trisha Lou Turns, so you can friend me. I put a lot of videos on that as well about more mindset, and this week I'm doing like all mindset stuff. If you're not on my email list, just put your email below, or if you want to send me a private message because you don't want it in the group, send me that, because I put a lot of different trainings into the emails that I send out. And I really want to create some value for you for free. Like, why not? This is what I love to do. It's what I get to do with my actual clients. And when I do have clients that bring things up during the week, I bring them to you because it's probably something that you are struggling with or that you could improve upon as well. And that's what I want in this space, in this group here. So the Entrepreneurial Freedom Family, like, if you want more freedom, this is where you want to be. Like, let's talk about some of this stuff. Let's bring things to the forefront and to the front of your head so that you can start knocking stuff out that needs to happen for you to be able to live a more fulfilling, joyful, accomplished life and be able to do the things that you want to do, whether it's have more time to yourself, more time freedom with your family, friends, traveling, whatever it is that you want to do, that I want you to be able to experience that. All right? Ciao.